On June 1st, 2024, Borussia Dortmund made history. Hear me out. Since the 2016 Champions League campaign, fans have noticed a common trend in the tournament. And no, it's not the inevitability of Real Madrid. Teams such as AS Monaco, Ajax FC, Olympique Lyonnais, Inter Milan, and now Borussia Dortmund in 2024. All these teams have all got one thing in common, and it's that they've been the underdogs of their respective campaigns. See, when Borussia Dortmund faced Real Madrid, there was already a shroud of inevitability that Madrid would walk away with their 15th title. After all, they seem to have an unremovable grip when it comes to winning Europe's top competition. But so did Dortmund, at least in the first half they did. I mean, it was something never seen before from an underdog's team. No one could have predicted their lightning-sharp start to the game. Quick onset counter-attacking football, brilliant pace, an experienced and compact backline, pinpoint tactics, and best of all, the confidence to look Real Madrid in the eye and school them for 45 minutes in front of tens of thousands of fans. So where did it all go wrong? Welcome to Football Holics, where we give you reasons why Dortmund lost the 2024 Champions League final. Reason number 1, no clinical output. It had been close to 27 years since the BVB boys last won the trophy. Since then, Dortmund have failed to replicate the success, having been in 2 European finals in 11 years. And who knows when they'll make another return to the stage. After all, the first 45 minutes of that match showed why they deserve to be in the final. The ability to neutralize Real Madrid to no shots on target for 33 minutes while blazing attack after attack was unheard of. Not even Manchester City or Bayern Munich managed such a feat. Dortmund had 7 shots, managing 3 of them on target, including a golden chance in the form of a 1v1, as well as managed to hit the post after 40 minutes of pressure. Of all their chances, Niklas Füllkrug's off the woodwork shot was the closest they came to a first-half UCL final goal, which would have been the first time a player scored in the first half of a Champions League final since Kai Havertz in 2021. Although they were unlucky in that instance, they managed a few more good chances. However, the only problem was these chances just happened to the wrong man. We've all heard it before, right? Right place, right time. But that phrase is not complete, so let's try again. Right place, right time, and most importantly, right man. 22-year-old Karim Adeyemi saw a lot of the ball during his 74 minutes on field. The final third attacking tactics were a common and recurring theme of Brandt to Sabitzer to Malen, and from Malen to Adeyemi, who more often than not either took a shot or looked to find Niklas Füllkrug, and whenever he did actually manage to pass to the striker, Dortmund seemed more than likely to score. However, the winger was inexperienced, and as the game went on, it became clear that he lacked the necessary output in the final third, as well as the decision-making to judge on when to look for an assist by playing the ball across to Füllkrug. Speaking of decision-making, this brings us to our next point. Number 2, a gulf in quality. Real Madrid showed why they were clear favourites. They had a number of players who had played at least one final of the Champions League coming into this one, and this was a major factor as nerves were settled since players could easily rely on previous experience. This has always been a key advantage in the Champions League final. Real Madrid players had the composure to make the right decisions at the right time, not to mention that there was a massive difference in quality between the two sides. I doubt most Real Madrid fans felt nervous before the game. In fact, many of them gave out nonchalant score predictions of 3, 4, 5-0, and with Real Madrid's lineup, who could blame them? In goal it was Thibaut Courtois to Dortmund's Kobel. At centre-back, Dortmund were able to hold their own, but with Niklas Süle ruled out just a week after the semi-final, it left them a bit more exposed, having to adjust their tactics with the introduction of Ryerson at right wing back. On the other hand, however, Real Madrid had the luxury of Eder Militao and David Alaba sitting on the bench. When it came to midfield, well, who am I kidding? There's really not much of a debate. The attack, likewise, but it's worth mentioning that the recent performances of Jadon Sancho in both legs against PSG seem to balance off the scale just a little bit. And with the experience of Niklas Füllkrug, Mats Hummel and Marco Reus, Dortmund fans had earned the right of belief in their team. But this is life, ladies and gentlemen. 3 + 2 other things are certain. Death, taxes, an eyebrow raise from Carlo Ancelotti, a Vinicius Jr. junior masterclass and Real Madrid winning the Champions League final. Number 3. Real Madrid had more of a why. Ever since Toni Kroos announced his retirement early this year, the players started to think of the perfect send-off. To mark the journey ahead, they titled it a Por la 15, which translates to For the 15th. This served as a constant reminder for top performances. The team could not afford to slip up as they faced tough opposition in Manchester City and Bayern Munich. It's no wonder they kept separate team jerseys to remind themselves of their ambition. Real Madrid's players had their own personal motivations ahead of the final too. Another reason comes from Fede Valverde, who shares the following. Number 15 is not so special. What would be special would be to win another Champions League with Madrid. This will make it special because then I have won the 15th, and it would be with the number I wear on my jersey. When I arrived here, it was one of the numbers that was free, and as I'm not a big fan of certain numbers, so I enjoyed it from the first day they gave it to me. Another one of their reasons was Jude Bellingham. At just 20 years old, he came in for £114 million. In his first season, he managed to win the La Liga, the League Cup, and the UCL, all whilst providing 23 goals and 13 assists from the midfield. As we move on to the most daring reason for Dortmund's loss, it's worth mentioning that it is in fact not the first time this has come up. Some might say Borussia Dortmund have an issue when it comes to number 4, mentality. I want to take us back to last season on the last day of the Bundesliga campaign. Dortmund versus Mainz. A flamboyant yellow wall brims with enthusiasm, probably enough to shake the entire city of Dortmund. So there you have it right in front of you, a massive home advantage, Marco Reus nearing retirement, and a golden chance to not only send him off as a winner, but to bring the trophy back home to Dortmund after 12 years. With all these narratives on the line, it all proved to be too much for the players to take on. Not to mention losing in the manner they did was certainly not good enough, having gone 2-0 down before equalizing with just about the last kick of the game, as well as missing a penalty. A year later, one could argue they faced a similar fate after going 1-0 down in the 74th minute. The team was struggling to continually impose their game plan. They began to crumble, giving away possession cheaply for Real Madrid's second. All in all, not a good show of character, and certainly not what the fans deserved after their remarkable support in a season that wasn't up to their usual standards. So with that said, it's pretty clear Dortmund might be having a mentality issue. It'll be interesting to see what the summer has in store for them in terms of personnel. But one thing's for certain, Edin Terzic is a certified manager who means business. Watch the space, because this guy will win it all one day. Maybe not with Dortmund, but he will. Comment below what you think of Edin Terzic so far in Dortmund. Is he doing a good job or not? Let us know. Oh, and what's this? Top 10 secrets behind footballer jersey numbers. I know you want to watch it, so click it.